Hello and welcome to episode 14 of our Orlghelovar campaign. In the last episode, we did a couple of things. The first thing we did was we went after Krathenor here, and we took almost all of their land, as much as we could possibly get away with, to help secure our trade here in the Sea of Echoes. We also went to war with Versartanshith, who has now been fully annexed by both ourselves and Kuzaram, and that led to maybe a little bit too much aggressive expansion, as we have a bit of a coalition against us. I'm sure it'll be fine, though. I'm really not too worried about it. And then we also started to explore the depths of Riz von Brethar, where we are, I think, found an artificer's workshop is what it seems to be, but I guess we will have to explore that more, because that is where we are starting off today. We have already put in 10,000 manpower to the preparation here. Let me go ahead and prepare supplies out for the expedition, make sure they are at 100% supplies. We'll organize the troops one time, and we will raise morale. We'll do it twice. Okay, we'll do it once. We'll do it once, because that's what I can afford. All right, everything looks to be in order, and we will go ahead and start the expedition. We'll send them off, and we will see what happens. All right, assembly forge line. The expedition steps out of the elevator, grinds to a halt, the gate in front of them all swinging open. Awaiting the expedition is a massive room, absolutely gigantic in size and scale, with the telltale signs of dwarven architecture, with vaults that reach up a solid 50 feet into the air, and at the back was a massive closed door begging to be opened. But the hall's contents are what truly draws the expedition's attention. In front of them lay an absolute treasure trove of raw materials varying from steel to mithril and many others in between. Set in front of these are steel cargo conveyors, a fixture of ancient dwarven mines to move excavated materials out of pits which, in the labyrinth system, cross the entire hall, where it seems that a material travels from point to point. Each point is a step in the refinement process of various goods seemingly abandoned in place. As well, the upper half of dwarven-shaped constructions are built into the workstations themselves, everything they need to create everything from pots to swords and armor within arm's reach, only to be pushed further down the line to the next station. Indeed, at the end, it seems to be more valuable goods are engraved with runes, and several pieces of mithril equipment can be seen at the far end of the room, where they seem to be set on a table, just awaiting an owner that never came. We could sweep the room. Mithril, you say? Mithril armor, you say? No, I want to sweep this room. Oh boy. Gold and greed. While sweeping the room, one of our expeditionaries came across a small alcove. Inside, with a pedestal which housed the bust of a dwarf cast entirely from gold. Whether or not it was greed or stupidity, we shall never know. What we do know is that after they removed the bust from the pedestal, it crashed to the floor as a siren filled the rooms. Stone panels hidden expertly within the walls opened, releasing a dozen golems. None quite the size of the one encountered guarding the elevator, but together they were no less formidable as they assaulted the expedition. The body count was high, but eventually all the golems were destroyed, and the thief was found, head crushed, under the very object of their desire. Unfortunately, this respite would not last, as the door at the back opened and a freshly made golem stepped out, metal still red hot in places. Well, that's not... Oh, this can't be good. Yeah, that's one way to put it. Frickin' dwarves, man. Frickin' dwarves. In the other room was another workshop, though this one obviously far more mechanical in nature, as if an improved iteration of the previous. Unfortunately for us, said workshop was also abuzz with activity, as some strange machine in the center of the room was roaring to life, assembling golems from materials it was being fed by more mechanical spiders. Each golem was roughly orc-sized, radiating with heat as they stepped out of the machine. Though indeed a single one could be taken down with marginal effort, the rate they were being produced quickly made many realize that if nothing was done, they would be overtaken, and quickly. Can we just turn it off? Risk nothing, destroy it? Send the mages. We'll send the mages. Golem disassembly. The expedition surged forth. The only resolution to this madness would be to destroy it at the source. Still freshly forged golems marched forth to meet the expedition, even as those with ranged weapons fired at the machine. Those in the front bore the brunt of the attack against the golems. After a tense, protracted engagement, a squad of the expedition's mages finally closed within range to destroy it once and for all, as spells went flying into it. Unfortunately, after sustaining the barrage of magical destruction, the machine began to spark, and many quickly began to back away as it caught fire. Not all, however, were able to escape the ensuing explosion, as a hail of shrapnel and molten metal was sent scattering across the room. Still, what is left of the machine shall prove valuable study for later trips. Hard fought, but victory nonetheless. Yeah, well, I suppose that's why you can't really send mages to do anything. They do end up using magic, which almost always goes bad. Odd machinery. The incident with the golem maker was one, and many set to sweep the room for further danger. Okay, have we not learned our lesson? Doing so, we found a strange device sitting in an alcove in the room. A flat-topped, rectangular metal box, the top of which contained a green crystal sheet that glowed with some kind of internal light. Within one, we could see various glowing crystals, not of any kind of variety any were familiar with. On the outside of the device, there were numerous small buttons, some of them with dwarven symbols, and others holding no meaning to any rational mind. The device was clearly dangerous. Who else would contain crystals like this? Now the expedition gathered to determine what to do with it. Are we scared of a remote control? Is that what's going on here? Like, we found a remote control, and we're like, oh no, oh no. Maybe we can turn it off. Odd consequences. As we began to deal with the strange machine, disaster struck. Whether it was a button hit in error, or a change wrought by a shift in pressure from someone leaning against it, it cannot be said. The device exploded in a ball of sparks and metal shrapnel, sending the expeditionaries around to the ground, struck down or dead, depending on the size of the amount of shrapnel, even piercing armor. Those still standing were not without injury, and many felt as if we should have just left well enough alone. Yeah, but think of it. We could have gotten loot. And what if we just left the loot, then someone else would come and take the loot, and we can't have that. That's illegal. No one else gets the loot but us. Alright, Tier 7 government reform. One I've been looking forward to since the Horde Curse, because there is a... hold on. 5% global trade power. That's kind of important for us. I was going to say, I'm looking forward to this, because we can get... where are you? Goods produced plus 5% and minus 5% development cost, which is very, very good for us. That being said, there are other good options. This one's actually decent because it gives us a trading policy, improve inland routes. Actually, no, I guess not. That's just like that's just like relations, right? Yeah, so that probably doesn't matter, but we do get 20% trade power abroad. I don't actually know what that really does, but I'm sure it's fine. The other option would be empower the burghers, which does give the cartels more influence, which is scary. They're already very strong, but it does give us 5% global trade power, which, yeah, I mean, kind of nice. I won't lie. Getting that sounds kind of nice. I really want the goods produced, but I think I need to go with the global trade power because it's already a pain to get the trade power anyways. Fine. Damn you, cartels. Always finding a way to get more power, even though you don't deserve it. All right, I need to state some things up. So you are not in a trade company. So let's go ahead and state you up. Same thing here. What is this? Us? Freaking outside of the Serpent's Reach stating things? Yes. Yes. It's possible. Now all of this is in a trade company. Yep. This is a trade company. This is not. The question is, do I want this in a trade company? Because we could add this province itself into the trade company, which would be kind of nice for trade power. So probably not. Probably leave that in the trade company there. Oh, you're telling me a bunch of truces people are up? Okay. Well, let's just build a couple more troops here. Just you know, precautions and all that. Just wanting to be safe, really, when you think about it. Gorbarad produces iron. That doesn't matter. We have a mission that will change the trade good to glass. Runic gateway. That sounds dangerous. In a chamber to the left of the Golem assembler was a single hallway, inside of which there was a door at the far end that opened into a vast chamber, though dominated by only one thing of note: a colossal, arch-like gateway, standing 12 feet high, wrought from seamless stone. It was unlike anything anyone had ever seen before, and perhaps none shall again. Its features were jagged, with crude artistic carvings of animals and things none were familiar with. Accompanying these features are runes not of dwarven make, but something utterly alien. Glowing with a faint purple energy, they almost draw the observer in body and soul. There seems to be some kind of control system hooked into it, with various cables and a lever, with a written note that says in old dwarven script, "Do not touch." Obviously, the only recourse is... Oh, look, okay, I know, we should look out very carefully. We should not, under any circumstance, literally zero circumstances, pull the lever. We are absolutely going to pull the lever, though. Are you serious? Why would I not pull the lever? You cannot put a note right next to a lever and be like, hey, don't pull this. It's like, okay, but you're not telling me why, right? If it said don't pull the lever, we'll summon demons, well, then maybe I don't. But you're just telling me I can't, which means I have to. Wrong lever. uh, missing localization. That is the scariest thing I've seen so far. I don't know what the hell happened, but it was bad. It was very bad. We lost 600 soldiers, 1 morale, and 10% organization. I wouldn't be surprised if that wiped our... Hey, wait a second. I know I made a joke about pulling the lever and then demons would come out. I didn't think that was literally going to happen. That wasn't the goal here. I didn't want that. It was like... Okay. As the expedition debated what to do with the open rift caused by pulling the lever, something emerged from the portal. It was a gaunt, squalid-looking thing, pale and small, but unmistakably some kind of goblinoid possessing large, beady-looking eyes. It locked eyes with us and let forth a shrill cry in some unknown speech as it raised its arms in the air. It then jumped back through the gateway. Okay, hold on. I have to pause. If it jumps back through the gateway, shouldn't we just pull the lever again to close the gate? I don't know. After less than 10 seconds, a horde of the things arrived, armed with crude metal weapons and armor, and then began to pour forth from the gateway. It is clear they are not here for pleasantries. Defensive lines or set up barricades. Definitely set up barricades. The expedition formed ranks as the horde approached, and a number in the back ranks quickly began to assemble crude fortifications and barricades in order to fall back towards. When they were completed, the expedition fell back to safety. Thankfully, the armor of the enemy was shoddy and their weapons of poorer quality than ours. They came like waves, crashing against the barricade and then withdrawing, only to come back with greater force and numbers. We ourselves were not without losses, but in the end, the tide of these goblins began to slow, then stop. The floor was slick with blood, some of ours, but mostly the enemy. Before any further action could be taken, the portal began to glow and a blinding light filled the room. What just happened? Hey, I don't think I should have pulled that lever. I know it's a crazy take. I don't think I should have pulled the lever. I think I should have just listened to the note. I think that would have been a good idea. But I do not take responsibility for these actions. I blame you guys. I do. Yep, that's right. I don't know how it's your fault, but I do. Yes. I think it's a good idea. I think it's a very good idea. Okay. You need a replacement. Sure. National tax guy, welcome to the team. The breach is shut. A roaring crack and a cloud of dust followed the blinding light, and after it had cleared the portal's place, lay a pile of rubble, though whether it was broken under magical stress or some unknown failsafe is unknown. Whatever the case, we cannot follow those creatures back to whence they came, but with the portal's destruction also comes with it the most dangerous threat on the floor to be dealt with. Now, after the wounded are tended to, there is only enough manpower left in the expedition to thoroughly commit to one option, which is to search the rest of the floor or pour over the gateway. I think let's look at the gateway. Ruined gateway. Investigating the gateway led to a number of insights into its design, a cornucopia of nearly flawless gemstones that had miraculously survived intact. The stones were carved with runes of similar apparent origin to those on the gateway, though far more elaborate in origin, revealing a more advanced creation than originally anticipated. Seemingly based on some variety of goblin scripture, it relies on magical principles that, simply put, many would not say are possible. At least not possible without access to incredible amounts of magic. As well, the external runes appear to be some form of bypass, focused around a handful of dwarven-style runes that have survived the collapse of the gateway. Whoever did this was a mind of frightful intelligence. Marvelous insights. Haha, we gain loot. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters. All that matters. Meanwhile, goblins are fleeing the country. Okay, go back, deal with them again. You please go back into port. You only have 11% life. You get more secrets. We have swept the section of the vault from top to bottom. Just when we thought there was no more secrets to give up, one of our expeditionaries noted that the main hallway behind the former golem assembler possessed a massive secret door that does not, at first glance, appear to open on this side. Though we did find some sort of strange mechanical lock system located in a carved statue of Dagrin Everbeard, crafted in a way to suggest divinity rather than mere ancestry, with an inscription that reads Father and God to dwarven kind. It will take some time to solve the lock, but for now the expedition is ready to leave that to specialists and return home to prepare for the next, and hopefully final, venture into this labyrinth. Repay them in full and send them back out. And you know what? This time, maybe we don't pull random levers. I think that's probably a good idea. We'll leave the random levers alone, okay? I solemnly swear, I promise. I might have my fingers crossed about though, because I do love pulling levers and seeing what happens. It is a fatal flaw in the most literal sense of things. But boy, oh boy, is it fun. I see a lever. Gotta pull it. Gotta pull it. Just the way it is. All right, let's go ahead and build a fort right there. Build a couple more in here. So build a fort there. We will build a fort here. Like, I just want to make it as much of a pain as possible for people to get in and bother me. You know, just classic dwarven things. Just make it a pain to come and, you know, visit my holds. I don't want you in my holds. They're mine. You don't belong here. No one else belongs here but the dwarves and our friends, of course. All right, exclamation menu. Okay, I'm done. I gotta upgrade this thing first. I need the money. Once again, it always comes back to money. Always need more money. Also, our maintenance has gone down quite significantly, but I think that's because of all of our forts and our advisors. Go. Start to work on that. You need to be stated. Didn't I say I wasn't going to state it up? I think that's exactly what it said. I think I said, no, I won't state this up because I want to add this to the trade company. I think that's literally what I said last episode. So we're going to go ahead and undo that. It's just admin points. We're going to add this state to a trade company. I need money. Imagine that. But most importantly here, I can revoke some crown land. Because I would like to get back above 30, if at all possible. Because that is contributing to any amount of disloyalty that Abdel Tunger may or may not have for me. Because they are not the happiest with me. They have been happier. We can also stop focusing admin. I could have focused military, but I don't know if that's really worth it. No, I don't think so. But I would love to finish quality out. Oh boy, would I love to finish quality out. All right, and with one more month tick, I will be able to automatically complete this. We'll go ahead and do that. And we'll let a couple months pass, and then we will work for it. Hey, ancient treasure. So we found ancient treasure. Bunch of money and prestige. Rolling tradition. No, give me the money. Give me that money. What can I upgrade? Balord and Balord. Oh, right. Right. I need to build a fort here. Thanks for reminding me. On top of that, Gore Ozenbrog wants an alliance. Sure. Friends. Definitely not future vassals. Definitely friend. Money. I just said I needed money for things. I literally just said upgrading this. Oh god, my brain. My brain is there. It's there. I was gonna say huge, but I can't. You know how it be. Okay, so that gives us a little bit more trade power. Sun Elf is not an accepted culture. That I do understand. New Sun Cult. Right. I'm just trying to remember what the negatives are. I don't think it has any, like, trade negatives. I think it's only other things. Like tax and manpower stuff, which I don't care about. I already have 2 world ports. Right. I may need to downgrade one up here, but I don't know. Is that going to be enough? Oh, boy. Maybe? Divert trade. Pay off their debt in order to make them happy with me. Pay off most of my debt. What does that get me up to? 42%? Yeah, that quick math's not good math, but it sure was quick math. Sure was quick. Maybe after another month tick or something? Hey, there we go. It just needs another month tick. That looks to me like either A, a league war, or B, Laurent is coming to kill the Empire. Not sure which one it is. League war. It's definitely the league war. And honestly, unless Goed is on this side, I mean, Booslar is on this side, but Goed is not. So I'm not a betting man. But if I was, oh, never mind. They're no longer at Conquer. I would still probably bet on Laurent taking this home. Powerful mage. Powerful mage Booslar could pull it around. We'll see. We'll see how that happens. We have a mission complete though, which is integrate Baharkandi. Right outside Shastundir's gates lies the realm of Baharkand. This region was once known as the Gulf of Glass, both for its dazzling beauty and its glass-making industry, although following the recent goblin invasions, it is a little worse for wear. The glass workshops here owe their beginnings to techniques developed by our own Orlghelovar ancestors. And while we are happy to see the legacy of our forebears still alive and well, they now represent serious commercial rivals for our hold. We must take control of the region's production if we want to dominate the Bulwari glass market. So Akatbar Vernat get plus 15% trade value modifier until the end of the game. Our province modifier Glass Lords and Orlghelovar is upgraded to the next level, which gives us 2.5% trade efficiency and plus 15% trade value modifier. Cool. That makes us ready for this. So this branch of the mission tree relies on me getting the power here. Yeah, I'm not sure how we're going to pull this one off. I'm going to have to probably be sneaky, find a way to get into a war here and get people to transfer their trade power. I'm not really sure how that's going to work. But we'll figure it out. What I do want to do is go ahead and get some claims here. Not that I can use them right now, but eventually I will be able to. So I just want to have the option available. Now, tell me I have rebels? Is this true, or is this just like AI saying it's going to rebel and then it doesn't? Because those are, a little bit different things here. No, that's true. They're not thrilled. Also, I guess we don't have to accept Sun Elf yet because I don't have any stated Sun Elf stuff, but I will be accepting the Sun Elves at some point. I guess we can keep diverting trade. I mean, if they're happy with me, why not? Why not? All right, we'll let another 2 months go by, and then we will start up our expedition here. Just so I have enough mill points to actually invest things in, because we are going to be facing the boss of whatever's happening. I could feel my game slow down when the League War started. I was like, dang, this month is taking a while. I was like, yeah, well, there's a lot of dudes moving around out there. A lot of dudes. All right, go ahead and prepare a bunch of supplies. We will organize the troops. We're going to max out our organization here. Yep. I want to succeed. I don't want to fail. Okay, you can't do this to me. You can't demand I give you more monarch points. I've already given you so many. Ancient treasure. Hey, we found a lot of ancient treasure. Thank you, though. Because you know what that means? That means we're debt free. I'll make an upfront payment. You know what? I'll just make a bunch of upfront payments. Why not? We'll spend a bunch of money instead of monarch points. Sure. One way to do it. There we go. So now I just have to not throw and choose bad options, and we should win. Great. It's easy. And we'll pay off our debt, and we're now debt-free. Beautiful. Horde Curse is completely behind us. Except for the good benefits that we get, so I guess that's something. Okay, so can I reach Ambencost now? No. No, I sure cannot. Ambencost, buddy, old pal, old buddy. I gotta make you like me somehow. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I gotta do it. I can improve by 9 more. I am a great power, right? So if I just, just do a little bit of bribing, that should help us out. Actions. The expedition has finally made passage beyond the mechanical lock and the hidden door. We had thought this workshop has given up most of its secrets, but clearly we were wrong. Automated golden workstations, strange libraries filled with tomes and tablets that look ancient, sitting on shelves made of solid metal. But as the expedition explores, one scout catches sight of something that should, by all means, not exist. A metal dwarf. Skin made from some kind of bronze or brass, silver, metallic hair and beard, and eyes seemingly made of gold and ruby gemstone. When our scouts came across them, the dwarf dropped whatever they were doing and ran, fleeing deeper into the complex. Unlike every other golem we encountered, it seems that this thing, whatever it is, may be the intelligence behind this workshop. If we can communicate with or capture it, we can perhaps unlock everything this place has to offer. So we can divine them with magic, split up a search for it, or an ambush may work. Let's divine with magic, though I don't think this will actually work, but we'll see. In pursuit. It took a half hour of haphazard coordination and false leads, but eventually we managed to find the dwarf working over some anvil. By the time a team reached him, he had finished what seemed to be another example of a master runecraft. Again, when we approached, it made some sort of noise in highly antiquated dwarvish and resumed running, this time into an adjoining chamber. A member of the expedition, after a few moments of rough translation, says, the speech roughly equates to, "You won't put me back in the vault, I'll kill you all first." Considering the number of lethal dangers we've encountered simply by accident, it shouldn't have to be stated that leaving this thing to their devices is unwise. After it. Yeah. You know how the first time we got rolled by a ghost? I'm afraid we're about to get rolled by a robot. We found the dwarf standing in a large hall filled with half-finished projects and devices, talking loudly to itself in a less antiquated dwarven. They stood in front of a large gate engraved with elaborate runes that seemed more like artwork than functional craft. Something before now unseen. Meddlesome interlopers, can they not see I am busy with projects? The last word was let out a shrill cry as the gates swung open. My genius cannot be hindered, undone. Go forth, my golem army. Destroy them all and leave me to my work. With that, the dwarf quickly fled into ranks of golems that began to march forth, forming battle ranks. Okay, I feel like charging them is a bad idea. Form ranks, steady does it. Dwarf and machine charge. The expedition and practice method formed defensive ranks to withstand the golems. Unlike previously encountered specimens, shock ripped through the expedition as the dawning realization that their faces were sculpted in likeness of those of the slain. Their large size made it difficult for them to concentrate excessive force on any single point in the line. While their own size and strength individually outclassed any expeditionary, a fluid defensive line allowed them to be surrounded and brought down by the back ranks. While there were losses, morale is high, and a desire for vengeance against the maker of these golems has taken root. Okay, well, it seems that was the correct decision, but like, when he says of the slain, does that mean like of our homies? Our homies that got rolled? That doesn't sound good. That doesn't sound good that is... They're becoming golems. Not good. The chase. We heard our target before we saw him, the sound of steel against stone repeatedly echoing down the hallway. Then we catch peeks of it as we round the corner. We're faster than it, but just barely, and unlike us, it will not tire. The expedition, as it stands, cannot hope to catch and fight this thing at the same time. There's only one thing to be done. Someone must be sent ahead to keep an eye on it, while the expedition covers the rear. Ooh, this is a difficult decision. So we can have the mages haste us, we can send our fastest runners, or we can send our strongest men. I don't think the mages are the right play. Just considering how explosively magical everything is around here, I think trying to use magic to get this thing might not be the correct play. So we're going to send our fastest runners. They got to keep up with it. Our fastest runners took off, running them the hallway and out of sight. The expedition themselves slowed to a fast walk, conserving their energy as they took up the rear. Every few minutes, we would find one of our men who had stayed back to properly guide us before they ran ahead to catch back up with the others and take the place of another who was left behind in a form of complicated relay. After some time, however, we come across the entire group, breathing heavily at the end of a hallway that only leads to a large sweeping set of stairs. They inform the expedition that the dwarf went up there, however, they have clearly overexerted themselves. They will need to rest before they are fit to fight, which means now leaving them in the rear. No more running. Okay. I mean, overall, if we only make a couple people tired, and they're not even our strongest fighters, I think that's an okay trade. Here, we'll go ahead and influence you. And then we're probably going to ally you. I'll read that in a second. Yeah. There we go. Go ahead and form an alliance with Ambencost. Then we'll try and get fleet basing rights and we'll trade. The Rune Vault. At the top of the stairs lay a massive chamber filled from end to end with workshops, carving tables, and machinery of arcane purpose and design. Rising from the center of it all is a raised dais 20 feet tall and at least 100 in diameter. At the top stands the dwarf, interacting with the machine from some sort of control system. You've done well, agents of the High King, but I will not be sent back to that damnable vault. No, you are unworthy of my knowledge. The secrets. The runes speak to me and me alone. With a strange mechanical cackle, they flipped a switch with the gigantic machine began to rumble. Whatever the thought process of this thing, it is clearly mad. The sound of metal on metal rang across the room. From the device, a golem emerged, covered in runes that glowed with blue arcane energy. Behold my masterpiece, the greatest rune forge, rival to any petty craft of Virkal Skomdir, and surpassing even Orlghelovar. Now you die at the hands of Verdrick Topazbeard. Verdrick Topazbeard. It looks like this is it. The final fight. While attacking the dwarf head-on could work, we have a large amount of room to cross before we even reach the dais, and attacking uphill against golems could be difficult. One of our mages, however, states that something like this would require a massive power source. If we could find and destroy it, it should destroy the machine, or at the very least damage enough to stop the production of golems. Find the power source or solve this like usual. I don't know what solve this like usual means, but I think we got to go for the power source. That makes sense in my mind. Find the power source. Hopefully we're right. Hunt for the source. The remaining expeditionaries formed battle lines as the mages began their tasks. The plan was simple. While the main force kept the golems and their mad maker occupied, a guard or two would be assigned to a number of mages to scour the room and look for hints as to what could possibly be powering this device. Painful minutes of searching passed, careful communications made to ensure secrecy was made, intense investigations followed. It was, after some time, determined that the power source could only be Halana's breath or Dame's tear. I don't remember what Halana's breath is. That's the problem. That's the problem. I don't remember that. But I feel like it's gotta be Dame's tear. Like, everything is powered by Dame's tear. It's gotta be Dame's tear, right? Like, everything is powered by Dame's tear. Not everything. Despite our best efforts to stop this at the source, something went wrong. An error in judgment, a spell gone awry, it matters not. The dwarf construct Verdrick has noticed our efforts and sent golems to stop us. Those caught in the assault and unable to retreat back to the main battle line have been slain. We've been forced to start again and determine whether we try the same course again or a new approach. Curses. Okay. An election. Now is not the time for an election, okay? Oh, we do get a stability increase. I think we go for the power source again. Hey, look at that. Gorbarad is fully colonized. Go ahead and send our guys there, and let's send a stack back to go and make sure that this isn't infested or anything. General is DED dead. I know we are going over time here, but I do want to try and solve this before the end of today's episode. Ancient treasure. Man, we are finding so many ancient treasures. Halana's breath must be the answer. It must be. It must be. I'll build buildings in the next episode. I just want to let time pass so we can do this. The rune ball, it got us his power. It was almost unnoticed. Almost. One of our mages, however, spotted a large cable hidden under a grate in the floor and followed it to an almost completely hidden adjoining chamber. Inside was a massive fissure leaking blue gas. Immediately, it was confirmed as Halana's breath, a form of magical gas that emerges from deep in the earth. This gas was being harnessed by a large turbine of some kind, sucking it in and then converting it to pure energy, almost like a water wheel. This obviously is the source for the machine's power. Now they return with the news. Okay. Well, that's something. At least it was correct in going after the power source. Cutting the knot. Despite finding the cable that seems to be powering the device, simply cutting it will not suffice. There are a number of options, of course. The mages could attempt to simply siphon the magic from the cable before it reaches the rune forge, simply absorbing the magic. However, could lead to catastrophic results if it's more than they can handle. Otherwise, pouring the power into an effect could mitigate the risk, but it would take something of incredible power to do what we hope. Perhaps a more creative solution is in order. We shall destroy the machine with its own power, absorb it regardless of the risk. Okay, absorbing it, bad idea. Destroy the machine with its own power, that's going to blow us all up. There has to be a better option. There has to be. A creative solution. Surrounded by crafts and the methods to shape them, the solution seemed obvious. Channel the magic and use it to create magical items. The power was there, as was the expertise. A number of our expeditionaries with the mages gave up their weapons and equipment for the process the mages set to work. The results were immediate, as the rune forge began to sputter and slow down, as the dwarf panicked, drawing more power from the ravine. They simply gave our mages more magic to work with at once, as they quickly made magical item after magical item. Eventually, even armor was being stripped from their guardians as more of the expedition arrived to defend the mages in their work. Then, the magic stopped, and an explosion was heard from the chamber that led to the ravine. Whatever occurred there, the flow of energy to the runeforge had ceased. For now, many don their newly enchanted armor and rejoin the fight. For the moment, they will aid in crushing the rest of the golems and be sold off later as part of the expedition's division of spoils. Creative indeed. Okay. So we didn't blow ourselves up yet. Or we didn't kill all of our mages by a stupid plan of trying to absorb power into them, when this is clearly a pretty unlimited source of power for them. The last stand. A few expeditionaries and mages finally made it to the top of the dais, breaking through the thinning line of golems as the thing that calls itself Verdrick Topazbeard looks on in a growing panic. No, no, no! My runeforge, my precious runeforge, you Luddites! You've destroyed a century's worth of innovation. I refuse to lose, especially like this. In a clear panic, it steps away from the control system for the runeforge. Not one step closer, I'll kill you all. They pull some sort of device from the pouch on their side. This device is a bomb. It contains a toxic gas that will melt your flesh. My form is indestructible. It needs no air and can suffer not from its effects, but you very much are not. It's impossible to say if it is bluffing or not, but they have been backed into a corner. We could perhaps banish it, taking it and the bomb to another plane, or simply destroying it before it can detonate the bomb, which is admittedly a riskier option. Regardless, the first of our expeditionaries steps forward and says, Verdrick is not worth it. Banish him or kill him. I think he's bluffing. The expeditionary steps forward. It's not worth it, Verdrick. We are not the ones who locked you away. Clearly, you can see that. Open your eyes. We do not have to fight. How can I trust you? They replied. Despite their chiseled metallic face, it contains all the expression needed to betray the doubt they have. The High King. There has been no High King in Almdir for over 7,000 years. All Dwarf fell long ago. Almdir fell, and with it, that empire. The sphere clatters to the ground as Verdrick falls to their knees. Of course, of course. Their head hangs in shame. All of this for nothing. It has been so long, too long. I should have known. I did know. I just ignored it. Gods forgive me. I have been the greatest of fools. Verdrick stands up, simply hanging their head in shame. The contents of my workshop, they are yours. It is poor restitution for what I have done, but it is the best I can offer. Okay, what now? Good question. What do we do with this robot dwarf now? He's kind of cool. Like, I know he killed a bunch of people, but like, bygones be bygones. It's fine. The Rune Vault, a sorrowful tale. Verdrick takes a seat as a few of the expedition's mages gather around at his request. I ask you to take measure of my tale, please. I know not how long my mind will stay clear, and I wish for the world to know who I was, not the monster I became. I was born shortly before the War of the Bloody Gem, upon one of the many shanty towns of the Dwarvrod, no clan, no history, no name beyond the one I gave myself. He looks forlorn across the vast room. I learned the art of dwarven runesmithing, made something of myself with it, took upon the name Topaz Beard. When the war broke out, I took refuge like many others in Almdir. I expanded upon my trade. By the time of my 110th year, I was a renowned master. But my genius, it would one day perish with my physical form. I knew that, and knew it had to be circumvented. I did find a way after a fashion. I believed I had devised a way to transfer my mind and soul to an artificial vessel, not unlike a skilled mage could create a simulacra or homunculus. I presented myself to the High King after completing the procedure. The only thing I earned was a vault and Gore Vasenbrog. He snorts, an impossibility upon another impossibility. Only when the dragon came and destroyed the hold did I escape my silent tomb. When the what came? The dragon? I made it here after some time. Lost in my madness, I began many projects in an attempt to stave off the isolation and insanity. But now, no more. I must ask you one last favor. I ask you to kill me before the madness takes hold again. You wish for us to kill you. Oh, it's like a mercy kill? Oh, no. It's so sad. That's so sad. Like, you know what he was doing. A final goodbye. Yes, they say. No hesitation in their voice that grows wearier by the word. I am resolved. I discovered long ago that, while I may contain Verdrick Topaz Beard's mind, his soul, if I ever truly possessed it, has long since passed. Without it, I will inevitably degrade once again into madness. I cannot be killed by normal means. The construction of my form is designed to withstand the worst all Dwarf of old could put forth. I will not share the process in which to make another like me. It is a secret that should die with me. They stand, taking a long metal fork that seems to contain some kind of black mineral that many of the mages find unnerving. I also, foolishly, made it so I could not terminate myself. Take this, stab it into the back of my neck. It will burn out the magic and destroy itself in the process. It is an unnatural thing, like myself. I will not speak of what it is. It is another thing that will die with me. If only. One of the non-mages among the expeditionaries agrees to do the deed. It is quick and hopefully painless, as the fork sinks through the metal skin as if it was not there. The construct collapses to the ground, the magic animating its body and mind consumed by the fork, which crumbles to dust afterwards. The mood is somber, the last mind of an ancient age, gone. You shall be remembered, Verdrick. Wow. So it seems like they use Black Dame's Tear to kill him. Which is interesting, because it was the Oni, over here, Oni, that I think were the first ones to create it. So maybe the dwarves had access to it earlier than people thought. The runic workshop. The workshop lay silent. The arcane machines and rune crafts of Verdrick Topaz Beard left abandoned. The one mind that understood their operation is gone, taking his knowledge to the grave for better or worse. Still, many of Orlghelovar's greatest mages will clamor for the opportunity to study the operations and enchantments. Before his passing, Verdrick revealed the location of many of its notes alongside other fragments of knowledge he had recovered from the ancient ruins of Alt Dwarov. Unfortunately, he admitted that many were coded in a cipher that he did not remember, though he had a few keys that would perhaps aid in doing so. The partially decoded ones so far suggest evidence for theorems and avenues of research that many had long since considered impossible. Though it may take decades, perhaps even centuries, to replicate the wonders found in this workshop, that should not prevent us from getting started. Repay them and send them. Actually, repay them and let them rest. All right. And thus, that is the story of Rizvam Brathar. That was cool. I like that one. But no ghost, just a weird robot guy. That unfortunately we had to take out at his request. I like that. That was a cool little story. Again, this is a longer episode. I just wanted to do this in one episode. I didn't want to leave a cliffhanger like the last couple of events. That would be kind of weird. But that is going to do it for today. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.